Hi everybody, I'm Allison, the Holistic Homesteader, and I'm going to share what I'm making for dinner. Alright guys, so today I have a venison roast, a deer roast. This is from a deer that my husband harvested this past fall. And I'm going to whip it up really quick. You're gonna be shocked at how easy this is, this recipe. I wanna tell you, you can use a beef roast, like a rump roast, round roast. You can probably even use chicken breasts for this. I've never done it like that, but I would imagine it's probably pretty good too. If you try it, leave me comments and let me know. But I'm gonna use a venison roast because that's what I have out and have defrosted. I have my crock pot, the crock part here. I have my other portion over on the counter. What I'm gonna do is I am going to open up my deer roast. I'm gonna stick that down in my crock pot. I have some garden green peppers defrosted. These were in my freezer. So I have green peppers here, my deer roast. I have one chopped onion, and I have, so here's my one chopped onion, just a rough chop on that. And I also have garlic. Excuse me. I have probably 8 or 10 cloves of garlic. Some of them are kind of small, so I'm just guesstimating. These are from our garden as well. I'm going to put the garlic, the onion, the pepper, and the deer roast with some salt and pepper, a nice amount of salt and pepper. I'm gonna put that down into my crock pot. And all I'm gonna do is add, a jar of spaghetti sauce. So this is Newman's Own Organics, the marinara. It is organic, non-GMO. This is a 23.5 ounce jar. So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to put everything into my crock pot. I'm gonna turn my crock pot on, and I'm gonna leave it on high for the next 6 hours. And hopefully in 6 hours time, my deer roast is going to be really nice and delicious and tender. It'll be falling apart. This sauce with the peppers and the onions is going to go amazingly well over my potatoes. You can see I cut and I peeled and cut, I would say 2 or 3 pounds of potatoes, probably like 8 or 10 large potatoes are in here. I'm going to season those up really well with salt, and then I'll bring them up to a boil until they're fork tender, and then I'll drain them and just add some butter. So we're gonna have the deer roast, onions and peppers, garlic, salt and pepper, pasta sauce in my crock pot. It's gonna go on high for 6 hours. I'm gonna serve it with buttered potatoes and probably corn, and that'll be what's for dinner. I'm gonna add in our peppers first. These are frozen. These are from our garden this past year. I'm gonna drain off some of the liquid because, like I said, they were frozen. You can use fresh peppers. Doesn't make a difference. Whatever you have on hand, fresh, frozen. Add my peppers down in. And I'm gonna add in my deer roast. I'm gonna rinse it off just because it is deer roast and you never know if there's a stray hair or anything. There's our beautiful deer roast. It's gonna go right down in. We're gonna take our chopped onion. I'm just gonna spread it around, and the same thing with my garlic. You're literally just dumping it in and spreading it around. Now I'm going to season this. I am going to add probably a tablespoon of salt. This is crushed pink Himalayan salt and fresh ground pepper. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of salt and probably 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Well, real life people, my battery's dead. Time out. All right, time in. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of my freshly ground pink Himalayan salt. I'm gonna add 1/8 teaspoon of fresh ground pepper. So this is what it looks like so far. Like I said, you can do this with any kind of beef roast too. This is an amazing meal with venison or beef. You could probably use even some elk meat if you had that, or chicken breast. I'd love to know how this tastes with chicken breast. Might try that next time. So my deer roast, onion, pepper, garlic, salt, pepper. Easy peasy. You can see how fast I put that in there. Now I'm gonna just dump in my jar of marinara. Just give it a little shimmy shake, and guess what? We're gonna put that in the crock pot, turn it on high for 6 hours, and we're done. I'm gonna check this in a couple hours and see how it's all coming together. I'm gonna taste it and see if the salt content is a-okay. And we'll keep you posted. So my deer roast has been in the crock pot for about 5.5 hours now. And I was already in here poking around. I already know that it's falling apart. That's what we want. That's why I cooked it on high, because I didn't have the time to cook it low and slow. So it's been on high for about 6 hours in total by the time we eat. Over here I have my potatoes salted. I turned them on. I'm just gonna boil those until they're about fork tender. Then I'm gonna drain them and add butter. It's just gonna be a really simple buttered potato. Back there I'm gonna make some sweet corn. The potatoes are amazing with this sauce served over them, so don't waste the sauce. So I just pulled my deer roast out of the crock pot. Been in there about 6 hours. You can tell it is falling apart tender. I have my corn just seasoned up with some salt and pepper and some butter. And then I have buttered potatoes on the side. Now how I like to eat mine is with sauce, this sauce over my buttered potatoes. And then you put some over the meat too. Amazing.
Oh yeah.
There it is. How is it?
Good. Really good.
Hot, huh?
Yeah, real hot.
That's what's for dinner.